What up everybody, it's your boy Danny, and this is going to be a home theater tour review. So a lot of the products I got here, I'm super excited to show you them and my thoughts on it and to see if you should purchase it yourself, okay? So make sure you stay tuned and let's get into it. All right, so the lights are on right now. Obviously the screen is washed out a little bit, but this is my home theater, y'all. At the very moment, it's a living room home theater. It's not a home theater, okay? Honestly, it's a basic surround setup that I have here. And I'm gonna go through all the products that I got, tell you my thoughts on it. We're gonna break it down in a few different reviews in one review. And just so y'all know, I built my own home theater, as you'll see right here. It was a great experience to be able to do something like this. This was a dream of mine. And I'll go into that in a different video. But for now, we're gonna look at what I currently have. And so let's get into it. All right, so let's start with the screen. This is an Elite screen, 135 inch. It is Cinegray 3D, and I enjoy this screen. Cinegray screens are great for light environments, okay? So if the windows are open, which we do have, it's our living room, it helps reduce the light bleed that goes onto the screen from the projector, right? So when you have a white screen and light, it is the worst enemy and it makes the screen seem washed out, okay? So Cinegray helps, gray screens in general help you in order to counteract that and to have a better picture during unpleasant scenarios where you have light. Now, this screen has been amazing. Me and my wife have been enjoying it. Our friends who come over, they watch Sunday football with us, watch movies with us, and it's been great. There's no issues. I just need to fix it because I have some wrinkle spots within the screen. You can't see it now because the house is cooler. In Texas right now, it dropped in temperature. And so the screen tightened up with cold temperature, so you can't see the wrinkles. And it's not wrinkles within the fabric or within the material. It's more of tension wrinkles, right? So I just need to take it off and reconnect the springs so that the tensions are in a good spot for the whole screen. But other than that, this screen is great. One thing to note is that I get a lot of, I think they call it speckle, and it's just like the texture of the screen. You can kind of see the texture essentially of the screen. Being this close, it could be we're just too close. We're like, I don't know, 8 feet away, 8 to 10 feet away from the screen. And you can see that a lot of people don't have issues with it, but for me, you know, I'm a perfectionist. I see it. But honestly, I'm not gonna get a new screen. This is just fine. I enjoyed it. I'm still immersed, which is the most important thing in general when it comes to having a living room theater or a home theater. Okay, now going into the Valerion projector. This was a gift for my wife. This is the Valerion Master Pro 2. I think I said that right. It's the one people are talking about for deeper blacks and a great image for such a small package. Now, just going into it, aesthetically, this projector is great. My wife loved that this projector was the size that it is and looks as pretty as it is, all right? They consider this a lifestyle projector, but it has like cinematic qualities to it, right? That's what the selling point is. And so you can see that it has chrome, it's beautiful, and the picture, guys, it's great. It is great. It's not obviously JVC. It's not obviously a Christie projector, but it does well, especially for a living room and even dedicated theater. Like, I'm gonna be very honest, a dedicated theater, this projector is gonna look great. I have no issues with it. The only thing is, just be aware, when you have a gray screen and this projector, what I've learned about this projector is that you want a white screen, preferably, to get those black levels good. That sounds crazy because gray screens enhances black levels. But according to the feature of that black level thing that they're talking about, EBL, but they said that, hey, like you have to have a white screen for it to have more of an effect, right? It's not that it's not happening on the screen, but it could just be the material color. It loses the effect of that feature that people love about this projector, that they're saying it's close to JVC, but it's really not, obviously, but it gets close enough. So just a note on that. That's really important, okay? Other than that, this projector has been great. No issues. Now, quickly, I'm going to show you the things I already have. Rythmik F18 subwoofers. These are 2 subwoofers, dual, left and right, that I've had for a couple years. Emotiva processor, this is a new one I got this year. I gotta talk about that too. This is last generations. There is a new generation right now that has a new 8K board, HDMI switch, a new audio processing, everything. They fixed everything that was wrong with this current Emotiva processor, which is extremely buggy. If you know it, you know it. But I found a way around it that I think you guys are gonna really, really enjoy it if you still have these and having issues with it still, you know, and you don't wanna upgrade to the CRA, which is like a $1,500 upgrade. I talked to Emotiva about it. I thought about it. They install everything except the audio processing. You're gonna retain the same original DACs, but upgrade every single thing. You're not gonna get new DACs with the CRA upgrade, but it's worth it if you want it to be working smoothly and never think about it again. I heard their HDMI switching is top tier, even compared to higher end processors. So something to consider. But right now, I'm gonna tell you about my experience with this Emotiva RMC-1L in 2025. So I got this at a eBay purchase for around $1,200. Now, if you know, this processor is $5,000, right? Originally, years ago, right? Still good quality, right? But you have the issues. I'm gonna tell you what I did in order to fix the issues with this Emotiva. When I plugged it into the projector, it was glitching out. It was terrible. I'm not gonna lie to you, it was bad. Yes, you can upgrade it, but I'm gonna tell you what I did in order to bypass it. And it's this thing back here. This is the HD Fury, okay? This is the 8K. It has 4 HDMI inputs, 1 video output, 1 audio output, and 1 other thing, right? It's connected through Ethernet. You can get go into the web, connect to it by inputting the IP address, and do some settings, okay? I plugged everything into here and only output the audio into my Emotiva. You can see it right here. This is the only audio input from the HDMI. Everything is going into that HD Fury, and only the audio is going into the Emotiva, so I can only use it for sound. And then everything out of that HD Fury goes into my projector. So I never have HDMI switching issues with my projector. This works flawless. Guys, this is the workaround of keeping your Emotiva processor, the O-Gen, without upgrading it, without doing the CR8 update. Obviously, if you want peace of mind, which I'm that type of person, but I just don't have the finances to do it, the HD Fury, the 8K, is probably 800 bucks, maybe 600. I'm not sure, I don't remember. I got it years ago. And I had the idea of keeping the processor and just bypassing that HDMI switchboard completely for my video and just outputting the audio from the HD Fury into the processor. And this solved it perfectly. I don't have any issues. So if you want to save yourselves, I don't know, 600, 800 bucks plus, and just get this HD Fury, and it's great with switching. I plug it in and I have it to where it automates it to where if you press the PlayStation button, it'll switch screens to the PlayStation. It'll switch screens to the Apple TV, the Blu-ray player, anything that's connected to it. The only thing with this is that I think this is the max amount of inputs version of the HD Fury they have, which is 4 inputs of HDMI. So if you have more than 4, that's gonna be a problem. I have to switch out from my Switch to my Xbox, but I actually don't have my Xbox here. I moved that upstairs, and I keep it simple. Apple TV, Blu-ray, most 2 important things for movie watching. PlayStation, then you can do whatever you want for your Xbox, your Switch. You do have to switch it out if you got more. You gotta just switch it. But for me, this is perfect. I don't need more. This is all I use down here. And so the processor has been flawless. The only issue I have is that the center channel is not working at the moment. What would happen is it'll play normal and it'll drop like 10 dB in volume. I'm gonna probably send this in. I paid the 100 bucks for a diagnosis fee. I'm gonna send it just to get it cleaned out, fix the center channel. It's not having issues now because I changed the setting in the Emotiva from loudness, balances out the sound for night listening. That was on, so I turned that off and I haven't had issues since. So it could just be that. I might send it in just in case, just to have a peace of mind. They might replace it. I'll just pay for it because The processor is amazing, and I already calibrated the room with Dirac, which I love, by the way, and improved the subwoofer sound immensely. And so if you can get these on sale, and if you have a HD Fury or can get that, it'll solve it. You'll be getting great sound for surround sound system. These are pretty good processors for sound, period. All right, going into the OSD 7 channel now. This isn't the most powerful amp, but it's like 140 watts for 8 ohms on all 7 channels or something like that, okay? Close to 180 or 200 for ohms. These are 8 ohm speakers that I have, the SVS Evolution series. So the OSD is fine. It does what it needs to do for what it needs to do, okay? Amplify the channels. It helps with, obviously, the separation and, you know, not having all-in-one boxed receiver, which, you know, aren't bad, by the way. I prefer separates. So, you know, this was $1,000. I recommend it. I like it. If you're trying to get into separate processors and amplifications, it's a great start. If you can get, you know, a better amp like Parasound or all that stuff, feel free to go do that. If you have the budget to do that, you can find great used ones. But I just wanted something new that will last. Definitely going to upgrade it in the future for something more powerful, because I have ideas for my future home theater. And so, yeah, it's great. Don't have issues with it. The only problem I do have is triggering. Like, I plug the trigger switch to the auxiliary and this into the Emotiva, and it doesn't turn it on or off at all. So just keep note of that. I could be doing something wrong, but the processor is, you know, the amp is great. It's just heavy. So yeah, so that is the review for the Emotiva RMC-1L processor. It's great for 2025 to 2026 still. The audio processing is still amazing, and you can get these for like $1,000, $2,000 at most. And I highly recommend this if you can get a HD Fury. If you have one, you are already there. The only problem, again, is having HDMI inputs max out at 4. When you have the 8K version, I'm not sure if there's other versions with less HDMI. I think that's the thing. But if you want to go all in, you can upgrade these processors, last gen Emotiva processors, for around $1,500 plus, obviously with taxes and shipping and whatnot. And they replace everything for you. You know, if that's what you want to do, do it. I would do it 100% if I had the budget and if I didn't have the HD Fury. I've tried the Marantz 7706 processor, and this beats it completely. All right, so this is the left channel of the SVS bookshelf speakers. I have the center channel, the dedicated center channel that they have, that is a 3-way design compared to the 2-way design of the surrounds and left and right channel. Now, I know my setup for the surrounds are a little funky. This is my dog Jack. And this is the sitting positions, okay? So this is where I sit, right? So right here, that technically is a great spot for the speaker. Obviously, it's a little low. It's blocking the woofer, but the tweeter is close to ear level. And then we have the surround back left here. Not the greatest position, right? But the only other way is to put it where this air purifier is, and it's not in a great spot for walking. And we have a lot of people, and it's just going to be blocking the walkway. Not as bad because there's space, but it might not look good. But this is ideally the spot where you want the speaker. So I'm going to tell you my review on these speakers, okay? The cool part of having these as left and right channels and surrounds as well, it connects. It's the same speaker. There's no differences. It's not a different brand. It's not a brand with a different series. It's the same brand, same series. So you're going to get the same match tonally on all the speakers. Now, let's talk about the SVS center channel speaker, okay? Now, this is a 3-way design. It is different from the bookshelves, which are a 2-way design. But my issue with this speaker, it cannot be pushed, okay? -10 on my Emotiva receiver on 140 watts at 8 ohms. This speaker cannot pass -10. The speaker itself doesn't sound bad below that. Okay, I'm not trying to rip into SVS, right? But at reference volume, the bookshelves sound more stronger than the center channel does. And they both have the same 6.5-inch woofer, but it has 2 of them. And it's a 3-way. Technically, right, it's dividing the work a lot better, more efficiently than a bookshelf. But yet it doesn't sound good past -10 volume, dB, than it does for the bookshelves. The bookshelves, they sound really good past -10. But obviously we know the center channel does a lot of work. So the center channel, it just sounds muddied. I don't know how to explain it. It's breaking. It's obviously breaking. The voices are getting meshed with the sound effects, with other voices. The best way I can explain it, it sounds muddied. Okay, it just sounds all mixed up, not separated. So my first upgrade to my whole system would be to upgrade the center channel to I'm thinking about the JTR 110. It is a two-way coaxial compression driver. It's meant for more like surrounds, but it's a powerful enough speaker, especially for this space I have as a living room, to push that vocal volume high to reference plus and it not break up. Okay, so that might be my first upgrade. My review on these speakers is more of, listen, great for living room, great for basic surround, but if you're a reference person, not a lot of people listen to reference, but I like to push it -5. For basic listening, not pushing reference, these do fine. But if you want to push it, if you're going to invest for a home theater in the future, I say don't start here. Get something that can push louder and not break as soon as the center channel does, the SVS Evolution center channel. Let me know if you have any questions. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.